Yesterday I spent quite a few hours working on a business card because I've got the opportunity to tie flies for a pretty prominent business in Livingston, which I'll include that card at the end of that file. But that's not what this file's about, because I was giving this some thought. There's a lot of people that come running up to Montana, and they'll come running up here with $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 worth of fly fishing gear. You know, the best reels you can buy, the best rods you can buy, waders, vests full of all kinds of flies that are generally tied by somebody else, because I've been doing this for 40 years and I am a master fly tyer. But the point being, before you get all wrapped up in all this stuff, before you buy real expensive flies and real expensive fly rods and reels and stuff like this, you gotta learn how to cast. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit this to you. If I could have a $100 bill for every pilgrim that I ever seen trying to cast a fly rod and couldn't cast them 10 feet, you and I could retire forever. And that ain't no kidding. I just can't see wrecking the good, viable sport of fly fishing when you don't know how to cast a fly rod. Okay, starting right off here, that's what this is all about. You got to strip off about 10 to 15 feet of line, right, right off your reel. And I'm talking about through the eyes and through the tip, like that. Now, in my case here, I've got, about 10, 15 feet of line. I've got me a dummy fly. What I mean by a dummy fly is just a fly that, one of my older patterns that I've cut the hook off. I've cut it off right at the shank before the bend so it doesn't get hooked on everything. But okay, you got to start off with, like I say, 10, 15 feet. And all you're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is just doing a 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock motion. 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And pretend like this way I'm forward casting and this way I'm backwards casting. You never let out line on a back cast, not unless you really know what you're doing. You always let your line slip through your fingers and whatnot, have you on a forward cast. And it's all in the wrist. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Keep saying that to yourself. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And it's also timing. You got to wait for the line to get back there and back you, then you forward cast. And when that line rolls out in front of you, then you backwards cast. And if you know what you're doing, because all rod is just an instrument, if you will. I'll stick it right in this camera. This is just an instrument that sets up kinetic energy in that fly line. Okay? It's like a springboard. You guys ever watch a diver? He'll go running out there and bounce on that diving board, and it'll just literally spring him off. That's the same thing that a fly rod does. Okay? It's like this. Snap, 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 snap. Cast, wait. Now see, here I am. Right at the end of that. Right at the end of the loose line I had out there. Forward, back. Forward, back. And there we are. That's the basic thing. But you gotta wait a split second, because if you catch yourself arm moving like this, say down to the 9 o'clock position, back to the 5 o'clock position, you know what you're gonna have? You're gonna have one big mess. And of course, as you progress as a fly caster, not a tyer, not a gear queer, somebody that's got to have the best of everything, because these kind of people here never catch fish. I know this for a fact. I've watched this over and over and over again. It's all in the wrist, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Because like I say, you start getting into this arm waving stuff like this, and it just doesn't work out. You're not setting up kinetic energy in that rod, because the kinetic energy out of this rod right here gets transferred to this line, and that's what carries the line out into places like I'm sitting right over the top of, being in the Yellowstone River. Me, in my case, I can make 2 or 3 what they call false casts, or whatever have you, and I can shoot a line 60 feet. I've done it before lots of times. I got a 5-weight that I know doggone well. I've seen a time I've thrown 90 feet on a 5-weight rod. This is a Fenwick 6-weight. I've got a Fluger Tryon reel on it. And if some, I've been asked this a lot, Jim, what kind of a rod should I buy? What kind of a reel should I buy? It doesn't make any difference, but go down to Wally World and get you a 70, if you're just starting out, get you a $75 6-weight rod, a halfway decent reel, if you will, and I recommend Cortland weighted forward line, okay, because it bucks the wind better. But here we go with this sequence. You know, like I say, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. See what I'm doing there? Boom. Wait a second, cast. Wait a second, cast. And there we are. I hope you caught all that. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And I got all kinds of bushes around me on both sides, and I ain't snagged up with nothing. In fact, I've developed, this is a joke, I shouldn't waste time here, but I've developed one. If you watch that movie, A River Runs Through It, you'll see Brad Pitt doing his, he had a special little shadow casting, they call it. Brad Pitt, I got one better than that for you, brother. I do what I call a rodeo cast. That's where I go around in circles like this, like a cowboy throwing a lariat. I've done it lots of times, but of course you can't have a lot of brush and stuff in back here. You're going to have to learn to do a roll cast, because there's all kinds of different casts. You got single haul casts, double haul casts, and it goes on and on like that. But most people just can't get the concept down. This is just nothing more than a tool that acts as a springboard that springs your line out. It's all in the wrist. Like I say, like this, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you've got to wait a split second for your line to roll out forward, and then your line to go back. And then when you hit her backwards, you want to make sure that line rolls out there, but you don't want to drop your back cast, or you're going to be snagged in all the grass in the world and catch some other guy in a drift boat or whatever have you. But that's the deal. Snap, 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 snap. As a matter of fact, what would help out more people more than anything is concentrate more on what the tip of that rod is doing. The tip of this rod right here, concentrate on more on what it's doing than what you're doing with your hands. Because like I say, I can always tell when I get really tired after a long day of fly fishing, because I start getting real lazy and my arm is all over the place. You know, it's akin to having a proper golf swing. I don't know nothing about golf, but I hear tell you gotta grab your putter just right, or whatever them sticks are. By the way, up here in Montana, we call golf cow pasture pool. That's just a little joke. But there's a certain way you attack, if you will, or grab, or a formula that you use on golf swings, and that's the same way it is with a fly rod. Okay, that's about all I can tell you. This is just a 1, 2, 3. There's a lot more to be said about this subject of casting, but I pretty much said what I had to say in this file. I'm trying to keep these files short. I'll lay this rod down and turn that camera off, and I will leave you with a business card that took me quite a few hours yesterday to build the template and all that other kind of stuff. But no, I am not selling flies on Amazon. I am not selling flies on eBay. I'm not doing any of that. You got to come to Livingston, Montana, to the business that remains unnamed, if you want some of my flies, because my flies work. It's just that doggone simple. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a fine day, and thank you very much for watching the video.